And let's get started now with the 10 big takeaways from this Independence Day. My colleague Arun Sharma will take us through that.
Thanks, Munmun. Well, Prime Minister Narendra Modi brought out his idea of India on the 70th Independence Day, focusing on his attempt to take India from Swarajya, that is self-governance, to Surajya, that is good governance. Prime Minister Modi underlined his government's mantra of reform, perform and transform, while sending out a stern message to Pakistan that India will not tolerate or bow down to terrorism. Well, let's now take a look at the 10 prominent highlights of Prime Minister Modi's speech. Well, highlight number 1. Prime Minister said that the only economic progress cannot guarantee a strong India. Strong society is a guarantee for strong India, and a strong society is made by ensuring social justice. Now, if you talk about the second highlight of Prime Minister Narendra Modi, he clearly said that there is no place for violence and atrocities in our country. Now, if we have to strengthen India's democracy and fulfill its dreams, the path of violence can never succeed. So he clearly mentioned that violence will never be tolerated in this country. Now, in his third highlight, now if we talk about the third highlight of Prime Minister Modi, he clearly said that in his last few days, people of Balochistan and Pakistan-occupied Kashmir have thanked me and expressed good wishes for me. This is an honor for our countrymen. So this is the third highlight. Talking about his fourth highlight, Prime Minister Modi said that the children of Peshawar who were killed by terrorists gave us immense pain and agony. Now, this is our culture born out of humanism. On the other side, terrorism is being glorified. So in his speech, he gave a clear message to Pakistan as far as terrorism is concerned. Talking about the fifth highlight of his speech, Prime Minister appeals to misguided youth to shun the path of violence and join the mainstream, as the path of violence has never helped anyone. As you are aware that 65% of our Indian population is below the age of 35. So he is focusing on youth so that they join the mainstream. Talking about the sixth highlight, now he says that there was a time when governments in our country were mired in allegation. Now today, the government is not surrounded by charges and allegations, but expectations. So people of our country, that is India, are expecting too much from the government, and government is doing all which it can do in order to fulfill their aspirations. Talking about the seventh highlight, which PM mentioned, he said that Prime Minister gives an account of his government's achievements over the last 2 years. Now, Prime Minister Modi talked about economic aspect and the social aspect, giving clear vision about his government. So he is giving clear vision when he's speaking in his speech. So talking about the eighth highlight of Prime Minister Narendra Modi's speech. Now, they're talking about this eighth highlight. Now, government will bear the hospitalization expense up to 1 lakh rupees for the poor. Now, this step will play an important role in giving medical facilities to poor people in the country. So this announcement will be, basically will bring a great sigh of relief to the poor people. Now, talking about the ninth highlight, in a major announcement, Prime Minister Modi said that pension for freedom fighters shall be increased by 20% of what they are getting it today. And talking about the last highlight, now government will build museums in states to commemorate sacrifices made by tribal freedom fighters. So all in all, Prime Minister Narendra Modi spoke on all the issues from growth to financial inclusion and from governance to social empowerment to terrorism. Prime Minister Modi spoke on all the road traveled so far with sole mission of Ek Bharat, Shrestha Bharat. So these were the 10 major highlights of Prime Minister Modi's speech. And for other news, back to you, Munmun.
Thank you, Arun, for giving us a kickstart by that roundup of the 10 major takeaways of today's Independence Day.